Hang fire, don't get excited too quickly, people. We cannot count our chickens before they hatch, but we finally have a striker now, or we're led to believe. We're seeing this Gyökeres stuff develop quite quickly. You can see the headline in front of me. Arsenal closing on Gyökeres deal after face-to-face talks. Do me a favor, smash the like button and let me know your thoughts on that. Now, I've always said, I think I want Gyökeres because it's win now mode. I'm equally a big fan with Sesko. I'm happy with either. I think depending on if you're like me, you didn't really care which one, if you wanted Gyökeres more than Sesko for whatever reason, I think all of these sections or subsections of Arsenal fans can all agree that we just wanted a striker. It's one thing ticked off the book, off the list a bit better yet. Obviously, it's someone in for pre-season. It's one less position to quote unquote worry about. And I must admit, you know, the nerds and the XG dons and the field tilt guys and the social media fans, they're doing a lot of mental gymnastics. And I think the stupidest thing I've ever seen, yeah, and I tweeted it, people are saying he's not a better striker than Kai Havertz. I'm not even trying to get at Kai Havertz, but come on now, really, really, really. I'm not saying Gyökeres is faultless. He'll have issues of his own. Can he translate that into for his Portuguese form into the Premier League? Is he going to be good enough to get us to goals? You know, deeper question for Mikel Arteta. You can get the Eze's, Rodrigo's, Gyökeres, Sesko's, Madueke's, whoever he's been linked with. I genuinely think we need to penetrate central areas, and there's something from a tactical front that we need to improve, if I'm completely honest. The last 2 years, we've struggled in that regard. So it is what it is. Let me know where you lot are. Sammy Motbell has said, Andrea BERTA has held face-to-face talks with Sporting in Portugal as the Premier League club moves closer towards a deal for Gyökeres. Now, if we go all the way back to when we won the Champions League this season, the women did it in Portugal. We heard that around then. Now, I might be drawing my own conclusions, but we know already we've been talking to Gyökeres' camp. There's, you know, the framework on a 5-year deal led to be around 200k a week, right? That's what I'm excited about because it's gone from talking to Gyökeres' camp. We're now talking to the camp that matters, which is Sporting Lisbon. If they don't agree something with us, he don't have his medical sign on the dotted line, and we don't see announcement videos in which Gabriel Magalhaes and Freddie Ljungberg have to be in that Arsenal's media team. Free, I know you watch my content. Big up yourself. Gave you a little bit of an idea. So that's good. BBC Sport revealed last Thursday the Gunners had accelerated their interest in the Sweden international, as well as a well-documented search for a centre-forward reaches a climax. Well-placed sources have indicated that the process saw BERTA fly to the Portuguese capital towards the end of last week for key discussions with sporting counterparts over a deal that could be worth 70 million. I hate to say I was right, but I was right. Just because of we've been keeping up with this, I genuinely think Arsenal had 70 million for either Sesko or Gyökeres. Now, Sesko, it is what it is. Don't really care anymore. What I will say, and I'll say again, where Sesko and Gyökeres are concerned, gentleman's agreement doesn't go anywhere. Sesko apparently had a gentleman's agreement. He could leave for whatever fee this summer. Last summer, he had a release clause before he signed the new deal, which removed such. Gyökeres obviously has a release clause of 100 million euros. No one was going to go and do that. Gyökeres knew it. His agent knew it. Sporting knew it. They told him he had a gentleman's agreement. And we've seen that relationship turn sour, if I'm honest with you. So it is what it is. You know, these clubs will do these kind of things. Every club. It is unclear if he returned to London over the weekend, but BERTA's Portugal trip provides a clear indication towards the level of Arsenal's desire to finalise a deal quickly for Gyökeres. You don't know where BERTA is. He's cooking. He's keeping quiet. An agreement over personal terms with a 27-year-old is expected to be a formality. Christian Norgard is due to complete the formalities on his move to the Emirates in the coming days. We do hear some of our players are in Spain. Some gradually are returning to London coldly. In fact, the under-18s, 21s, and various members of our first team are there again. So yeah, big up Norgard, because I must admit, where is your announcement? I think you've been lost in the noise. Obviously, we're more excited about Zubimendi and Gyökeres and the prospect of Eze and Rodrigo, but you deserve to be gassed up, if I'm honest with you, in your own way. Arsenal will also decide whether to formalise a move for Chelsea attacker Noni Madueke after agreeing personal terms with the England international. Chelsea are aware of interest in the versatile winger 23. Now, we got stuff to go over where Madueke is concerned, but let me know your thoughts. Arsenal are working on a payment structure for a bid that could allow them to sign Eze without a substantial sale this summer. Fair play. We know we have to be wary of PSR. This could be the second 27-year-old. And if we were to get Eze, Gyökeres, both 27, you throw in 26-year-old Zubimendi, you know, indirectly Norgard, not to the same standard, but you get where I'm going. We got some experience, and again, we're now mode, in my opinion. We are, by all now, we're all aware of Eze's contract. It's got 68 million release clause. Arsenal are not going to just activate the release clause and pay it all up front. We're going to try and negotiate, and I'm sure other clubs will as well. Arsenal are nevertheless serious about doing Eze. about doing Eze and this summer, and there's hope that a suitable deal can be worked out. The 27-year-old's current contract runs until the summer of 2027, albeit with a release clause that comes in at around 60 million. But then additional fees and bonuses. Arsenal are aiming on a structure that will amount to 3 installments of 20 million to match Crystal Palace's payment terms. Now, we also heard that Crystal Palace were flexible in that regards. Then we heard that his bonuses are, some are due to him, some are due to his agent, some are due to Palace. You'd imagine QPR have a sell-on clause, and there's going to be a substantial windfall for QPR, a bit like Coventry where Gyökeres is concerned, or maybe if we do get Madueke for whatever fee, PSV. These are some things, like when Saliba eventually goes to Real Madrid, we need to have a sell-on clause if he goes beyond that. The best bit of news is Eze's preference is understood to be Arsenal should he leave Selhurst Park, although sources close to the situation believe Liverpool may yet activate long-standing interest. Liverpool's a bloody good club, that, leave us alone. Come home. You don't want to move all the way up there. Stay in London, man. No club has yet made a concrete approach to Crystal Palace, which, again, through the talk, we're somewhere away from things can accelerate quickly, as we all know. Somewhere away from that being the case. Some of Arsenal's expenditure is going to be dictated by the striker situation. We know Gyökeres could come in at a whole 70 million. Apparently, we advanced on that deal right now because of frustrations with Leipzig over Sesko. There's a feeling the German club have kept an unnecessary hard line on the price, while the two clubs were on good terms last summer. See, so all this, they hear we don't want to damage relations and stuff. I hear it, I understand it, but how far does it go? Because when it was time to be a bit of a see you next Tuesday, rightly or wrongly, that's what Leipzig are doing. Sesko at that point decided to stay for another year because he believed it'd be best for his development. When a deal could have been struck for 50 million, boy, it would have helped us a lot, but we might not have got Gyökeres. It was felt Leipzig would then be willing to let him go this summer for the right package and at least 10 million more in price. But the German club have held firm on a total fee of 80 million euros. Arsenal had been working on the purchase of Sesko for 18 months. So yeah, another one bites the dust, keep it moving. We're close to signing Gyökeres, as we know. This is saying 65 million euros, so slightly lower than what we've seen. That probably about 50 odd, 54 goals in 52 appearances. If you can get me 15, 20 plus goals on top of what Saka's doing, bring me a sick guy on the left-hand side, the Martinellis, the Trossards, the Marinos, the Kai Havertz's, some of these guys are going to be about. Do the job, man, and we could be a lot better in our pursuit of stuff. While the Premier League club are closing in on a deal for a long-coveted number 9, they are also actively looking for a left winger. And the sources told ESPN that talks with Chelsea and Noni Madueke are ongoing and very positive. Super agent Ali Barra is involved in making the deal happen, and there's already an agreement between Arsenal and the player like Gyökeres over a 5-year deal. Talks with Chelsea are ongoing and could all be done by the end of the week. The source said for a fee of around 50 million euros, so that's about 40 odd, isn't it? Slight bit of profit for Chelsea. I'm sure they want a bit more, but we're repeat customers. You give us a little deal, we'll probably be back next summer, maybe in January for someone, if I'm honest. Apparently, Arteta has always been a big fan of the England international and looked into his signing last summer. Even if his best position is as a right winger, where Saka plays, Arteta believes he can develop him into a great left winger. Is he a better left winger than Eze? And even Eze probably want to see him in the 10 or an 8. I don't know. If he becomes a great left wing, great, but I can't see us spending, and it's not what I can see, 50, 60, 70 on Rodrigo, 50 already been committed on Zubimendi, throwing the 10 million odd quid on Norgard, slapping the 5 million on Kepa, Madueke setting you back 40, 50 million. Eze could set you back about 60. I can't see us, if we just focus on Eze, Madueke, and Rodrigo, that's not all going to happen, is it? You might get someone that's versatile in Eze's case. You might get someone that can play left and right wing like Madueke, and you might get someone that can do what Rodrigo's doing, whether it be the caliber and the quality, I don't know. I just can't see it. To which, if it came down to it and you genuinely got a proper chance of getting Rodrigo and Eze and you had to sacrifice one of the two or one of the three out of Madueke, that. And even if you don't get Rodrigo, which I'm quite pessimistic on, I need Eze because I think Eze's a level raiser off the left. Cool, Madueke it is what it is. You are show us something, but you can mix and blend in the side people. So we'll have to see. Again, things are positive between the three parties in relation to Eze, but Palace have a fixed fee of 65 million euros for their star player. Eze, like Madueke, is keen on moving to Arsenal. It's unclear, however, if the club can sign both wide players after completing the move for Gyökeres, which should be done first. Smash the like button and let me know. Do you think Madueke, this is legit? Do you think it's BERTA pivoting and doing all that stuff? Do you think it's a smoke screen? I don't know. Zinchenko, Kivior, Reece Nelson, Leandro Trossard, they're all going to continuously be linked with moves away as speculation over their futures continue. So yeah, at this point, We're looking to get Gyökeres. I'm not going to keep reading the same things out to you lot. Ornstein said we'll have to see if the clubs can find a common ground on the transfer fee. Right now, I don't know that to have happened. There are some suggestions on social media that it has, but it's not my information right now. That's not to say it won't change in the next minutes and hours and days, because it's a situation that is being worked upon. So yeah, Arsenal have held positive talks with Madueke. A deal of around 50 million euros could be sealed by the end of the week. And Arteta is a big fan of the Englishman, believes he can turn him into a top left winger. Intermediaries with direct tandem with Saudi clubs have been told in no uncertain terms Rodrigo's preference is to move to the Premier League, with Arsenal his absolute priority in case a deal can be struck with Real Madrid. Everyone and their dog is going to throw their hat into the Rodrigo ring. Arsenal are preparing for their final offensive to close the deal for Mascara. So busy BERTA. Trossard could leave Arsenal this summer despite initial discussions over a contract renewal. The player is happy at the club, but Irivo Andrea Berto with new ideas could change his future. Arsenal could consider bids of around 20 million euros. Reports courtesy of Fabrizio Romano linking Gabby Martinelli with a move to Saudi have been described as wide of the mark, and no talks have taken place with Saudi pro side El Nasser. They're now working on other targets, people. Former Arsenal's technical / sporting director Edu's been formally announced at Nottingham Forest now. Gunner blogger said on Wanyeri, I've seen people saying this is just agent spin and everything's fine. I'm not sure about that. There's definitely an issue there. I'm worried about it a little, given the complexion of the rest of the transfer picture. So if you do get Eze and Madueke and Rodrigo, who could play off the left, some could play in the 10. You've got Saka off the right, which was an avenue of Wanyeri. You've got Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, Marino, Odegaard, whether they're specific 8s or 10s, just midfield bodies. You could understand maybe why Wanyeri's got reluctance despite playing a lot of football last season, statistically. So yeah, Man City, PSG, and Arsenal are said to be the teams. I'd imagine Liverpool and Chelsea are involved in that. Apparently, he wants to stay at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, who have apparently, Xabi Alonso wants to play Endrick as a right winger. I know Rodrigo hated playing there, but it shows you they might be shifting towards other things, people. We've had a bid for Blackburn 17-year-old Tejon rejected. It was said to be around 1 million quid. We've gone over the Mikel Arteta stuff there. Ornstein said, if you're going to bring in someone like Rodrigo or Gordon or any of the names that have been linked, then there probably isn't space for two such players, Martinelli and Trossard. That's why there's a possibility of a Martinelli departure. I have to make clear, I don't know of any movements or talk of developing situations. What do you lot make of that? Because Martinelli will probably bring you a bigger fee, but unless it's Saudi, is anyone going to put him on 190? Trossard ain't going to bring you too much money in, but it's probably one that, you know, I'd be more relaxed with Trossard guy. And even though in an ideal world, I'd like to keep them both, at least for a year. You hear about Saudi Arabia, about Bayern Munich. I'm sure he's liked and admired everywhere, but that doesn't mean a move is materializing. Those within the club are very happy with Mikel Arteta's progress at Arsenal, and it's not thought the external pressure to deliver is replicated internally. Some players took part in an optional training camp in Marbella. The rest of the squad are due to meet at the Sabah Reality Training Center this week for the official start of preseason. Fair enough, optional. But if I'm Mikel Arteta and I gave you the option, and unless you got a good excuse like you've been playing for your country and you didn't roll, you're starting on the back burners.